This is how narcissists show their vulnerabilities when they start losing control. Due to their vindictive nature, narcissists might be difficult to face when they engage in cruel or dishonest behavior. A narcissist may feel rage, contempt, and dread when they discover they are losing control over someone. They might try to get back in charge by becoming even more manipulative and controlling, or by using techniques like gaslighting and triangulation. They may resort to verbal or physical abuse, or try to tear down the victim's sense of self-worth and confidence. Keep in mind that narcissists are notoriously difficult to change. They may be unreceptive to therapy and quick to place the blame on others. Get some expert advice on how to handle your relationship with a narcissist if you're in one. This may involve figuring out how to communicate with the narcissist and establishing limits. Be mindful of the possibility of abuse and take steps to safeguard your mental and physical health. Get out of an abusive relationship and get some support if you need it. Keep in mind that the narcissist's behavior is not your fault and that you deserve to be treated with respect and love. Please know that this video is not meant to replace actual medical care. If you or someone you know shows symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, professional help should be sought immediately. A professional counselor or therapist can shed light on the complexities of your relationship and provide you with the skills you need to cope. Having a low capacity for empathy, they are often cruel and dishonest. Let's be sincere. We've all engaged in such conduct occasionally. However, pathological narcissism is characterized by an extreme and persistent exhibition of these traits. They consistently don't change. Due to their vengeful nature, it is reasonable to fear the consequences of revealing their secrets. Our ability to predict their behavior is limited. You may have an inkling of how a narcissist will respond when they realize they no longer have influence over you if you are dating one or if you grew up in a narcissistic family. If you know anything about narcissists, you know that they generally measure their personal worth by the attention they receive from others. This results in low self-esteem and a limited vision of the world. They will resort to bullying, humiliation, and other sorts of manipulation if others don't offer them the attention and affirmation they crave voluntarily or to their excessively high standards. Stranger still, narcissists frequently resort to legitimately unpleasant behavior in an effort to relieve their feelings of envy and shame. To alienate others, one need only disregard their principles, reject them, punish them, cheat on them, disdain them, and so on. This is why narcissists typically react in one of a few predictable ways when they feel they have lost control over someone. For starters, they could actually say sorry. Narcissists may try to apologize to you directly. Perhaps they have no remorse or concern for the harm they have inflicted. Most people who have done harm to others feel bad about it later on. The fact that they were left behind has left them feeling depressed. Since they had to be so open, they felt awful about it. On the other hand, this is not usual behavior for narcissists. The common "it's not me" excuse is another common defense. To put it simply, I'm nervous. Because of my condition, I can do little to change things at the moment. Addiction has put me in this position. It is not my fault that I am here. A person can qualify their apologies by saying something like, "I'm sorry, but after all, you did say something 10 years ago that I thought very unpleasant." Moreover, even if you do receive an honest apology, it probably won't last more than a minute, a day, or a week. Narcissists frequently revert to old habits. Narcissists are just the first to think of a new way to solve an old problem. It's conceivable they're just attempting to talk you out of your anger and aren't truly sorry. What would a narcissist do? They can respond to questions with a single word or completely shut off. The lines, "I don't know what I did to hurt you, but I'll always love you," could be delivered to you in a text message or email. Following this, you will hear a jumble of incomprehensible remarks that amount to a threat in disguise, such as, "And I'm going to let other people know what you're like." However, please know that you have my undying love and respect. Contrarily, if you do receive such a letter, or if you do receive an apology, pleading, or tears, and you're thinking about giving them another chance, I won't talk you out of it, but I will ask you to consider drawing on your experience. The amount of previous apologies is unknown. Not many, perhaps, but how few were there in total? Thus, the wrongdoing ceased after the apologies were offered, correct? If it hasn't changed up until this point, why should you think it will now? When narcissists are called out on their lies, they often try to pretend as if the incident never happened. If they can't confess to themselves that they are wrong, that they made a mistake, or that they have limitations, they certainly won't concede to you or anybody else that they are being toxic. Instead, often numerous unfounded allegations are made. Create a new meaning from what you've already said or done. This is nothing more than an attempt to justify your earlier actions and remarks. Intentionally misunderstanding you and your motives. Stress the phrase deliberately. Being with the same type of person for an extended period of time gives them lots of practice at using manipulation and gaslighting techniques. You may begin to question your own sanity if it appears that other people accept their story. Secondly, those who suffer from covert narcissism are experts at hiding their true, aggressive nature behind a front of weakness and remorse. Those who haven't done so before may reach out to your friends, family, and coworkers following a breakup, typically with the phrase, "I'm really concerned about them." One of my top priorities is looking out for his health. I haven't heard from him in a very long time. Worryingly, they may show an interest in your membership in any organization, group, or none at all. When the narcissist joins your organization, they will quickly become integrated into your existing social network. They might even pay you a visit at home or extend an invitation to you and your loved ones over for dinner to get to know you better. They want to show you that, despite your initial impressions, they are good people by having a civil conversation with you. Furthermore, this can be used in a variety of contexts. The goal is to recruit flying monkeys, or reliable friends and allies, to carry out the narcissist's bidding. Your presence was required so that someone could keep an eye on you and provide direction and information all day long. It's another tactic employed in an effort to intimidate you into surrender. It's an effort to manage public perception of the victim and the narcissist's self-image. Narcissism is inherently destructive. It seeks to break things apart from the inside out before moving on to causing havoc on the outside world. Third, the manipulator tries to get the victim to accept responsibility for the wrongdoing by appealing to their emotions. The narcissist will do everything it takes to make their ex-friends or lovers feel bad for them after a split. In all honesty, I have my doubts about their tenacity. They cry, beg, become angry, and appeal until the victim finally gives in and realizes they were harmed. Another way of saying this is that they wet the bed and then claimed the blanket was to blame. Fourth, they display hostility and vengeance in their actions. The narcissist will tell you that you're being conceited for seeing through their act. Frustratingly, you refuse to take any of their crap, and this makes them angry. Remember that narcissists have an inflated sense of self-worth and will use that to justify their harsh behavior toward you. Some people, including narcissists, can act aggressively or destructively if they feel threatened. If they are attempting to damage your reputation, they may circulate false information about you. Furthermore, they can withhold aid on purpose. To put it plainly, they will resort to any means necessary to gain the upper hand on their targets, like they have some moral obligation to impart some wisdom to their unfortunate victims. Fifth, they will resort to trauma bonding strategies like dishonesty, manipulation, and threats if they can't get their way any other way. Some victims of narcissists come to tolerate the narcissist's destructive behavior, which is typical of the narcissist but not of anybody else. The abused individual may appear depending on the narcissist for psychological or emotional support to an objective observer. Perhaps they have no choice but to put pressure on you to help them financially. Abuse and reliance go hand in hand, and the latter can make it nearly hard for a victim to escape an abusive partner. The victim may have developed a distrust of everyone, including themselves, or there may be a more tangible problem, such as a health problem. For fear of being abandoned, narcissists often forge an intense connection with their victims, known as a trauma bond. To add insult to injury, they would do all in their power to fortify it if it already exists, making it extremely difficult for the victim to develop independence or escape. Narcissists who believe they are losing control over another person often exhibit the traits as mentioned earlier and actions. In conclusion, it's crucial to realize that you're not alone in the struggle to cope with a narcissist. I hope now everyone has a better understanding of how narcissists could act if they feel they are losing control over another person. Narcissists are notoriously vengeful, often resorting to abusive tactics such as verbal or physical abuse, manipulation, or undermining their victims' sense of self-worth and confidence. Narcissists are notoriously difficult to change and may be unreceptive to therapy, so keep that in mind. Expert guidance on how to deal with a narcissist and set boundaries is invaluable if you're in a relationship with one. Take precautions to protect your emotional and physical well-being, as abuse is always a possibility. It's crucial to get help and get out of an abusive relationship. Always keep in mind that the narcissist's actions are not your fault and that you're worthy of love and respect. In addition, please remember that this video is not meant to replace professional medical advice. Seek quick medical attention if you or someone you know exhibits symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. Your relationship may be more complicated than you realize, but a trained counselor or therapist may help you understand it and learn strategies for dealing with it. It can be difficult to interact with a narcissist, but with practice and preparation, you can learn to safeguard yourself and set appropriate limits. If you've made it this far, we appreciate it, and we hope you found this video to be enlightening and informative. Thanks for watching.